What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Today is the daily recap of the SPY, and today is June 11th, 2024. It is a Tuesday, and it's the day before FOMC. So that's something to be quite aware of. But today, not too much crazy action during the day, but in the morning was absolutely insane. So let's take a look at what was going on with SPY. So with SPY, I kind of turned on the RSI. I wanted to see what was going on in terms of, hey, are we overbought, oversold? Right now, SPY is doing some wicked moves. Not really sure what's going on there, but overall, we had a gap down today. Gap down. I expected that we would break the trend from yesterday. So yesterday we were in this uptrend. We held it pretty nicely, and I expected that we would break it today as we have FOMC tomorrow, and we actually did break it. What happened was we gapped down and then sold off to the demand zone. So I marked this area as demand in the morning, and then I said that if we close below this before 10 a.m., we'll probably continue. We actually, right at 10 a.m., which is the reversal time, so Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, usually every day at 10 a.m., well, every day at 10 a.m., we get a reversal. So we sold off pretty hard in the morning here on SPY. So a really dramatic sell-off after that trend line break from the previous day. We were below all our MAs and below VWAP here, my green line. Then we got above the 9 MA and started ripping to the upside. So this triple bottom on SPY is pretty notorious for a move to the upside. This is an inverse hammer doji, and we have pretty much a flat line there showing that, hey, we're not going below this level. And then we have a nice bullish engulfing bar here and push to the upside. And this is what we call a mean reversion. So we pull back to the mean. So after selling off really too hard, we push back to the mean, and in this case that's about the 20 MA, which is a good MA for the 5-minute time frame. So we pushed back to that. We also had a gap fill, so gaps get filled 90% of the time. We filled that gap early on in the day. So I wanted to take these shorts here, but it was before 10 a.m. My rule is not to trade before 10 a.m. And then on this reversal, I'm not yet taking early calls just because I want to get a better setup for my calls. So I typically take puts later on in the day after double top reversals and after mean crossovers and things like that and other things I see on the RSI. Right now, this is a low probability play for me just because I need to develop a strategy that makes it higher probability. So I'm being very picky with my trades, and I've been doing extremely well trading, being very picky. All right, so we had that move to the upside. We had that gap fill, and then we formed a double top. I ended up taking puts here, 0 DTE puts, very risky after this crossover to the downside, and did pretty well there. Called that out to my group on Discord, and it went pretty good. So that was it. So we formed this double top. Now we came back to VWAP, bounced off of VWAP, and now we're doing some weird sideways stuff here. It looks like we're probably going to go sideways for a minute because tomorrow's FOMC, like I said, and yeah. But one more thing I wanted to take a look at was Apple. So yesterday I talked about Apple. If we look at Apple on the 2-hour time frame, and even like the daily time frame, but what I had said was that Apple was on this trend line. It's a monthly trend line here. And I said the fourth touch on the trend line looks like we will tap the psychological support at 190 potentially, but it looks like we're going to hold above this trend line. And I was expecting a pretty good bounce, but I was not expecting Apple to go from 192 to 205. That's just not typical of Apple at all. I know we had the WWCD event yesterday, or WWDC, worldwide, what was it? The conference, the AI conference or whatever they had. But yeah, so we had this trend line going back to May 2nd or May 3rd. And this trend line was respected the whole time. And yesterday we did our final tap on that trend line. And today we ended up blasting off to Mars. So yeah, we were off to Mars. Let's take a look at what it looked like on the 5-minute time frame. So on the 5-minute time frame, it looked like pretty much no move to the downside, just from 193.62. We had a small gap up. We had the 9 crossing over the 20. And then we just absolutely just ripped and just never came back. And now it's just at all-time highs. So That was Apple. This only happens 20% of the time. So for any given day, stocks will trade in one direction for only 20% of the days. So one every 5 days, we'll see that a stock just goes and does not reverse at all. So very rare. If you didn't get that entry, then that's okay. But yeah, that's a massive move to the upside. So I'm pretty sure that call's absolutely printed. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in to the daily Fit to Flourish podcast, going over SPY, and today we went over Apple as well. I hope you guys have a good one. Any questions, drop them in the comments. Stay safe. Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and